Hello everyone, hello everyone, hello everyone. This is going to be a really good stream. I've got something new to release to the world today. Let me get the socials going. As you can see, I've got Docker Desktop up. So that's going to give you a hint.
Hello everyone, hello everyone.
And let me mute this box now that I know that the sound's working. And let me get this shared out on my socials. Okay, it's on Twitter, and let me share it on LinkedIn. Live streaming reveal of my latest working project using Django. Oh, name of this stream's got Django. I have to crap. Can I fix that somehow? Settings. Ah, that sucks. I made a typo. I'll see if I can fix that after by renaming it. Django, Postgres, pyATS, openAI, chatGPT for real-time, on-demand, network state and configuration analysis. Come check it out. Streaming, network automation, Django, Postgres, openAI, chatGPT, Cisco, live broadcast. All right, let's do this. All right, let's get that posted. And we're all set here to start streaming. Thank you for joining me. I might wait till we get a couple more people, but here's the idea. I'm going to use Docker, and I have a Docker file and a Docker build. And I've brought up a Django app called Brainiac, Heimdall, which is a front-end Linux server, and my database, which is Postgres. And these are all running and listening. And if I show you the Heimdall page, this is what Heimdall is. It's a dashboard that lets me launch the Django dashboard and my custom views and front end. Now we can link to all different things. Basically, we go to application list and add the URL and give it a logo. I don't have a logo just yet. I'll be working on the visualization soon. Now what I have open here is my Django front end to the Postgres database. Now I've already added an openAPI key, so I'm not going to show you that. But what we're going to do is add one device for now. And let's add a device. And what we're going to do is use this open sandbox, and we're going to use distrouter02 or 01 for now. So distrouter01 is the host name. It's the alias. This is a router. This is iOS XE. This is CSR 1000V. This is Cisco SSH 10.10.2175. Port 22 with a 360 timeout. And we're going to timestamp it today and now. So we've added our device, and you'll see those fields, if you've worked with pyATS, they map to the pyATS testbed. Now I don't have a testbed.yaml file. I'm building it dynamically from this database entry. I'm polling the Postgres, getting the various fields to dynamically build my testbed. Now the next thing you see, I have two database fields here. One for our chatGPT interface state prompts, and one for the state analysis. So let's add some prompts. We're going to add two prompts. Let me kill that. We're going to add two prompts, and I'm going to steal these prompts from my existing code. If you just give me 1 second here, I want to get the right prompts. Right, so there's one prompt. So what we're going to say is I'm going to take this variable out. Although the variable would work, we'll take it out. Let's just come back here. So what we need is, basically I'm taking this structure of the ChatGPT call, and I'm setting up a server. You are a network state analyzer and a user. Please analyze the following interface network state and tell me if the interface is okay. Today, now. So that's a prompt. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the on-demand analysis center, and we can say analyze interface. So I'm going to click this button, and we see the spinner start. Now that spinner is going to spin until it's done. And if we look in the back end, here is the code running. The pyATS is connected. It's running show interface, parsing it to JSON. Here's the JSON payload. And then passing it per interface as questions to the ChatGPT. So here comes our answers. And we'll go back to the main page here. It's still spinning away. And as soon as the spinner is done, we can view our results. And there's a couple places we can review our results. And we're not going to check our results right away. So this is just wrapping up here. And again, we're at the mercy of the GPT, the speed here. This is as fast as we can get it. There's no async yet. So the job's wrapping up. It's finished. Our spinner should be done. Now, before we go and look at the data presented to us, let's look at the database. We'll look at, here are all of the entries for each of the interfaces, GI 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, loopback 0. And the payload. So if I click on one, we have the server, the question, it's distrouter01, loopback 0. Here is the payload from show interfaces, and here is the answer and the timestamp that the answer was provided. So now forget the database. Let's look at the results here. And we can sort any of these fields. We can filter, if I only want loopback 0. We can show more rows. We can have different column visibility if we don't want some of the columns visible. So here's the prompts persona, you're a network state analyzer, the question, the answers, and the timestamps. Right, and it's a very good answer. Based on this, it appears to be down and disabled. Right, further analysis may be necessary. So, right, it has all, right, based on the information, this interface seems to be in good condition. Right, really good answers in real time at the push of a button. So now what I wanted to try, which I haven't tried yet, is two things. One, let's scale with an additional device. So let's go to our devices. Can I copy this? No. All right, so we're going to add a device, and we're going to add this distrouter02 and confirm that this code scales horizontally. $176, yeah, 176. Today, now, okay. And now, let's just click on the button again. Actually, before we do that, just because we can, let's flush our answers. All right, so that's empty now. And let's analyze interface. And hopefully now, we'll have the results for two devices. Now the job's going to take longer, and we can sort of watch and babysit the job. Be curious. So there's distrouter2. So definitely connected to distrouter2 is distrouter1, and there's distrouter1. So now we've just scaled it, and we could just fill this database with as many devices as we want, and it's just going to constantly check and give us the answers. So we're going to let that finish and then check the results and see if we can filter on. Now, while that's happening, the other place we have is browse, and we can just browse all questions and answers. Now, they're sort of starting to come in here, and it looks like my timestamp is off. 1:36 instead of 9:30. So let me just make note of that. Time zone. So I'll have to fix the timestamps, and so there's 7 entries for disk router 01. And are we on to disk router 02 yet? Yeah, there's disk router 02. Perfect. So now we can either toggle this host name here, 1 or 2, or just put 02 or 01 in. So now, and we're getting all these great answers, automatic AI analysis of if the interface is okay or not. Now we could actually add some more logic to say if interface is not okay is in the text, make it bold or make it red. We could add some front-end logic to the template to do that. But we would need to parse this and look for not healthy or not okay. We could also ask it different questions. So now that we've scaled, and there's our results. So now that we've scaled, let's scale prompts. So we have one prompt. Now let's add another prompt. And we're going to say, you are a Cisco network state analyzer. And the user is going to say, is the following Cisco interface state okay? And please explain your answer like I'm 5. Save. Now, I hope I loop over 2 questions now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to our analysis and flush these records. So we just get a nice, clean, fresh set of responses. So now we should get 28 responses, right? If there was 14 responses. So let's try it. And we might be able to watch the logs and see if it asks this new question. So we've scaled this way, added whatever device you want. And now we've hopefully scaled with questions. So we leave it up to our administrators to come up with the prompts. We don't let the users add those. So it's gonna take some time. It's asking it and okay, so here we go. Explain it like I'm 5. And explain it like I'm 5. So maybe with the for loop, it's gonna take the latest one. So we have to see if it follows up with the normal, is this healthy or not? And the explain it like I'm 5 didn't really help here. Maybe it did. Oh, here we go. This is a good one. Here's why. Yes, the interface is okay, and here's why. And there's a list. Really good answers. And then here, tell me, is it okay? So yes, we can just add more prompts, or we can add more devices. So I just wanted to reveal this code here today. It's not open source yet. I will be working on that. But we can see that we have these wonderful results for interstate analysis. Here's the answers. And we could even make it a little more simple, right? Give me a yes, no answer. If possible, give me a yes, no answer. And it would just say yes or no or whatever, right? So this was interface state analysis. I'm going to be able to do more. So back on that button page, I hope to add running configuration analysis, other state analysis, just whatever we can think of that we can send the payload off and say, check this out. Is this healthy? Is this secure? Right? Other various prompts that we can come up with. And we just add it to the Django system here to make it nice and easy. Now this again is a Docker container, so it's just Docker compose up, brings up the system, start adding stuff to the database, your key, your prompts, your devices, and then start running your on-demand center. All right, we'll see you real soon. Thanks again.